today, but I actually have a presentation. So my name is Devin. I am the Vital RD. I'm a registered dietitian, and I've been here in Marion County for the last 10 years. Oh, okay. All right. I've been a dietitian for the last 10 years here in Ocala, and I'll tell you a little bit about my background, what's led me to becoming a business owner. So who is the Vital RD, or who is Devin? So as I said, the last 10 years I've been a dietitian here in Ocala, and I've worked in the clinical setting. So if you've ever been in a hospital, you may have got a consult for a dietitian or a family member. I was a bedside clinician. I moved my way from bedside clinician all the way to leadership in the hospital, running multiple departments and generating revenue for the hospital. At that point, I kind of got an inkling for business, and I realized that there was kind of a ceiling in my position. And also, I was at my role during the height of COVID, during the pandemic. So a lot of burnout, a lot of stress, a lot of politics in the hospitals. I'm sure you guys are aware of all the things that happened at that time. So I led to getting an MBA, and I went into sales. I left bedside clinical work altogether. I said, I don't want to be a dietitian anymore. I'm going to leave and do something else. Um, the last 2 years, I had kind of a come to Jesus moment, realizing that I'm still a dietitian and I love what I do and I love helping people make changes. So that led me to being successful in sales, marketing, business development, creating connections, and realized that I was selling things that I didn't really believe in when I could have believed in myself. So about 2 months ago, I left a full-time salaried position, well-paying job, and I'm doing this full-time now. So my goal is to present this to you guys so you can see kind of what I'm doing and to get some honest feedback. So the big thing, as you guys know, nutrition in general, supplements, person-focused nutrition, it's on the rise. You go on the internet, everybody's friend's a nutritionist, dietitian, gives you feedback, tells you what to eat. The biggest thing is a lot of information is muddled. There's a lot of things that are misleading. My goal and what I do is to make sure people have that honest person in their back pocket that understands nutrition, the science behind it, but also makes that connection with the body and what it does. So it's very important that you have an expert in your back pocket to make sure that you can do those things. Now, in the area of weight management, sports, diabetes, kidney disease, all the clinical things going on, there's a lot of mixed messages. So the goal with my company is to try to meet those needs. As you can see, there's going to be an increased expenditure on personalized nutrition care. So my three problems that I'm focusing on with my business is the limited access to nutrition guidance. Having said that, you can go on the internet and Google anything, right? There's a lot of information. But to get connected with an expert in what I do is limited. You're going to get most of that information from someone who probably doesn't even have a degree in what they're doing. They took a weekend course. They're, I hate to say it, selling supplements to you or something that really doesn't need to be given to you. My goal is to provide personalized nutritional guidance. Focus on the person, not really what's going on with them, making sure I'm meeting them in the middle. Secondly, there's ineffective health and wellness strategies. All right? Traditional medicine, if you go to the doctor, you have a problem, right? They give you a prescription, right? Unfortunately, that's kind of the world we live in. People want that quick fix, they want that solution. With my focus on more evidence-based health and wellness, I'm focusing on what the science tells us, what research is telling us. So that way people feel like the advice and information I'm giving them is going to actually meet their needs and not just be kind of a band-aid for a bigger problem. Lastly, lack of support and accountability. All right, you go and you see someone a one-time visit, and they give you a piece of paper, right? Anybody ever seen a doctor and say, "Here, you have diabetes. Here's a handout," right? There's no accountability. There's no follow-up. There's no support. So with my company, I'm focused on long-term support and grouping people together based on what their background is and what their focus is, so that way they have people to lean on, not just the expert in nutrition. Competitive landscape. So what I'm competing against, as I said, traditional healthcare. All right, you get sick, go to a doctor, they give you a pill. All right. Secondly, online platforms. There's a million platforms that can give you advice on what to eat and how to eat. Right. MyFitnessPal, a lot of those companies that give you like macronutrients. Right. They're beneficial, but they're not seeing the big picture. They're not seeing the person behind the app. Lastly, personal trainers. I've worked here in gyms locally, and I left those gyms because there was competing information. Not saying personal trainers aren't qualified to give advice, but when it comes to medicine and nutrition, there's a big divide there, and a lot of what they'll tell you may not be what you need to know at that time, okay? And influencers. As I said, you go online, 95% of the people that tell you nutrition information don't have any background in nutrition. They're probably selling you something or they're trying to lead to telling you something. My business model, my target audience, and what I'm focusing on is going to be mostly weight management clinical. I'm looking at those areas because that's where dietitians thrive. I've worked in hospitals, and that's where we focus. But I also want to focus on sports nutrition. I'm helping some athletes here in Ocala that want to go above and beyond where they're at. They want to go professional. They want to go to college. So the biggest thing is how can you get that edge? Obviously, you have strength and conditioning, but you also need nutrition to go with that. And then lastly, general wellness. I want to be available to people in Marion County to speak on different topics and be a support person. My offerings are in person, virtual, and then on demand. So my goal is growing an online platform where people can get that information that they need. My revenue streams are through fees, subscriptions, digital, corporate wellness, and then affiliates. Marketing and promotion, I have an online presence. I'm doing social media. I'm doing content marketing. I'm networking. And then I'm working on some technology development. So here's the last 3 months. I've launched my company. I launched my social media. I got a partnership with one of the top primary care offices here in Ocala. So I'll be starting a clinic working with them as their primary dietitian. And then this next month, I'm going to be expanding my online platform to help people get more on-demand services. Marketing, I'm focused on brand development, digital and print marketing, partnerships, and then obviously seminars and words of mouth. So different areas where I can connect the dots and obviously get my message out here in Marion County. Lastly, my call to action and obviously questions for people in this room. I want your honest opinion about Marion County, about what we do, about what you think this company can do here locally, but also virtually. Secondly, how do I meet the needs of both in-person and virtual in your experience? And then how can this business collaborative or any other collaboratives help kind of create that connection where we can work together to meet the needs of people?